Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we'll be talking about Joshua Jefferson. I want to hear your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of the Iowa State Cyclone? He's someone who's climbed his way into the first round, and you've probably heard the Draymond Green comparisons. Now, temper those down. He is a fantastic player. He is a senior at the draft. He'll be 22 and a half years old, born in 2003. He's 6'9" with a 6'10" wingspan on a 240-pound frame. This year, he's averaging 16.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 1.5 steals, just under a block a game in 31 minutes, shooting 47.7% from the field, 37% from three, 69.6% from the free throw line, 52.6% inside the arc with an effective field goal percentage of 57%. He is a guy who can do it all. Pretty much a jack of all trades, maybe a master of none. He runs the offense like a point guard trapped in a power forward's body, dishing out almost 6 assists a night. The only player in Division I basketball averaging 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists this season. Put the country on notice with a back-to-back monster playmaking performance in January, dropping 12 dimes against UCF, followed by a 10-assist night against West Virginia, showing that he can quarterback an offense from the high post, the elbow, DHOs, or even at the top of the key. He feeds his teammates with precision and sees the floor 2 steps ahead like a chess player. Posted a ridiculous 10 assists, 3 steal game against Alcorn State while also throwing down 24 points. With his size, he bullies smaller defenders in the post. As I mentioned, that 240-pound frame is very well spread out, and he's able to use the strength to back down opponents for easy looks. In that Alcorn State, he had a 10 for 13 performance and went 8 for 10 against Grambling early in the season. Yes, lower competition, but that's what you want to see when you're playing teams and players who aren't as good as you. And as I mentioned, with his frame, he understands how to position himself for rebounds, but even though he's quote-unquote undersized for a front court player, he knows how to fight for every board, grabbing 17 rebounds against Baylor in January and hauled in 10-plus boards in 8 different games this year. Over the few seasons in college, he's developed into a legitimate floor spacer, shooting 37% from deep after knocking down 4 of 4 from 3 against Oklahoma State and having several games where he's hit timely triples to help Iowa State win. He showed out on the big stage in the Maui Invitational, putting up 18 points and 10 boards against Creighton, and followed it up with a 13-point, 10-assist double-double against Syracuse. Plays with grown man strength, physically imposing his will either on the boards or when he's trying to score, or even on defense if someone tries to back him up or he guards the perimeter with his chest up. He likes to wear down his opponent's morale with his physicality, and he uses a wide base to seal position not only as a rebounder but as a screener. I really enjoyed the game against Mississippi State where he shot 6 for 8 on the floor, and he consistently scores through contact, and in that game he exemplified that. He gets his hands on everything. He loves to stick his hand in the mud defensively. He's averaging almost 2.5 stocks a night. Picked up 4 steals against Stonehill and swiped 3 against St. John's and UCF. He protects his rim better than his size, his verticality, and even his 1 block a night. He's a guy who contests everything using verticality and understands that if he can't block it, he'd rather contest it. He stuffed 2 shots against Purdue, swatted 3 against Kansas, despite giving up inches to bigger opponents. Now, as athletic and mobile as he is, quicker guards, smaller guys will cook him in space. He struggles to slide his feet laterally against wings. He's going to be able to guard 4s and 5s, maybe some 3s, but we saw him get exposed in Baylor and Kansas when they put him in pick and roll actions at the high pick and roll, and he isn't able to recover. And sometimes he falls for shot fakes like a rookie and bites on everything. Picked up 5 fouls in just 22 minutes against Purdue and fouled out of the game against TCU in February. Turned the ball over at an alarming rate this past February. Coughed it up 6 times against TCU, 5 times against Kansas, 6 times against Baylor in January, all in losses or close games. And in Kansas, he disappeared completely on January 13th, shooting 4 of 14 from the field and scoring just 12 points while his team needed him, And from the free throw line, I think he's showing that he can be a shooter, 70% almost, but he's had some brutal nights from the charity stripe, shooting 1 of 4 against Baylor and cost his team points in close games. As solid of a athlete, I think vertically, he's a below the rim finisher, and he doesn't have the explosion as a finisher. He's not going to be a lob threat. He uses craft to be deceptive, his strength and angles, because he can't rise over bigger opponents. And he hesitates way too much on open threes and passes up good looks. Teams are starting to go under screens and dare him to shoot. And that was seen in that scoring slump in mid-February, where he failed to reach 13 points in 3 straight games while shooting 11 for 31 from the field against Kansas and that at BYU and Houston in that stretch. And he struggles to create his own shot, especially against better players. He's not going to be someone who will be a shot creator at the NBA for himself. Shot 5 of 15 against TCU and forced up contested looks when they took away his passing lanes. Defensively, he tries to do too much sometimes, overhelps and leaves his man wide open, gets caught staring at the ball and gives up backdoor cuts for easy buckets. I think he's a guy who's worth a late first-round pick, as he'll be able to run an offense like a guard, which people love, and he'll bring that physicality on the glass. He has the ability to guard multiple positions. He's a viable connector, secondary playmaker, I think. However, he's got to have his three-point shot and offense and just clean up those turnovers, as if he's not able to do that, he's not going to be able to fit in the NBA. But I think he'll be a high-floor role player, someone who could be an offensive bench piece that provides defense. And it all is the shooting, which I think is the easiest skill to learn. So let me hear your thoughts if you made it to the end of the video. What do you guys think of Joshua Jefferson? Where do you think he'll go? Hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below. Ciao.